What is good, y'all? SmooveGotGame, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another Pittsburgh Pirates video. And today we are at episode 24 as we are closing in on the end of the year. Coming closer and closer to these September call-ups. And you can see the playoff race is getting crazy. We are now sitting at 4th place in the division, 3.5 games behind the Reds. The Brewers are still in it. The Cardinals are still in it. The Cubs kind of falling out of slack with it. But you see, the only team that's really doing good right now is the Reds. 7-3 their last 10. And it's been all over the place this season, man. But this is going to be a very important episode for us. As you can see, we have 3 games against the Reds coming up here at the end of the month. We actually start off the month of September with 3 more games against the Reds too. That one will be at home. This one obviously on the road. So that'll be what we focus mainly today on, and seeing what happens in this first 3 to decide where we'll stop this video at and get into the next one. So of course, as every game becomes more and more important, these critical situations, we got to hit them. Here, we're in the bottom of the 8th, down 1-0. As Pete Crow Armstrong will have to come into this game and give the offense a little bit of a spark here as that ball immediately gets thrown away. It doesn't go anywhere though, as our first base coach got in the way. If he had just moved out the way and let that thing go past him, we probably would have had a runner at second. But time run is over at first. We wanted to go ahead and try to get into this game to get a dub, and this will get down into the left center field gap. It's going to slow roll to the wall. We got plenty of speed coming around second. Pete's going to go ahead and go for third base. They're going to throw to the plate to make sure it's not inside of the park home run. They said it'll just be an RBI triple for Pete. Coming in and being very clutch for us. His 6th triple of the season, which is crazy to only have 6 at this point. But just that one hit alone said, all right, it's time to go to the bullpen. Signs, it's time to get you out of here. As he was pitching good, I'd imagine. I mean, obviously we had no runs, but we go ahead and pull him here after just giving up 1 to tie it. And that'll go ahead and give us an opportunity to see reliever Yun Min Lin. Played 33 games for them, has 91 innings of work, so definitely a long reliever for them. So trying to get somebody in case they can keep this tied and go into extras. And he might have to pitch multiple innings to get something work here. So we're going to get a base hit, though, from Henry Davis going right back up the middle. The curveball could not confuse him, and they were infield depth trying to get the runner at home. It was not going to work there. And it actually ends up giving us the lead here just in 2 quick batters. And we got the top of the order coming up here with Brian Reynolds at the 1 spot now. Finally got him leading off for us. And he's already going to go ahead and take a walk to go down to first. And we still have no outs in this inning. So this could be a very huge inning for us if we can get a lot of run support here. I feel very good about us walking away with this dub as Pete Alonso gets a 4-seamer upstairs and he pulls deep out to left field. Doesn't look like it'll make the warning track though, as it'll go ahead and be gloved and thrown in. If you guys like the high pressure situations that we're already throwing ourselves into quickly here, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the video with a like on your way in. Subscribe if you're brand new to the family. And let me know predictions down below. Where do you guys see this division finishing up? You see how close everything is with the double play. Ball going over to first base. 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. And we'll have to go to Jose Leclerc with a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 9th to go ahead and try to close things out for us against Juan Soto in the middle of this order, 3, 4, 5. But go ahead and leave a comment down below where you guys think that we will finish up this season at. You know, obviously everybody's within, all the top teams in the division, all top 4 of us are within 4 games of each other, which is very close. Even 8.5 isn't that far back, but I mean, it is starting to get to that point. So the Cubs are slowly eliminating themselves, slowly but surely. That's a great play there by Pete Alonso to make the play in the flip. And that's 1 down as we go to Lewis Roberts next. He's 0 for 3 in the day, so we've kind of kept him in check too as well. But right now he's been able to battle for a full count here. 3-2 coming in from Jose. Swing and miss through the slider down low. And now it's down to Eloy Jimenez, 1 for 3 on the day. And looking like he could be their final out, possibly final hope here. But with 1 swing, he could tie it, so we got to pitch carefully, as that 4-seamer was very dangerous down the middle. Let's try to aim a little bit more for the corners if possible. 1-2 goes right through the 4-seamer downstairs. Leclerc comes in for the save. And your Pirates going to start this high-octane episode off. We're not even 4 minutes into the video. And we are starting off with a big clutch W here in the 9th inning. Every win here late in the season will count. It'll get us closer to that first place, so it definitely matters more so than anything. Jonathan Loaiza getting the dub here today, 2-3. Rafael Sanz getting his 10th loss of the season. And we actually only ended up having 4 hits on the day, and you saw 2 of them. So for that point, we had no runs and only 2 hits given up. as Signs was on his game. 3 hits, 5 Ks, 2 earned, 2 walks, even up. Outside of our 2 hits, the other 2 came from Julian Cortez. Had a nice 2 for 3 day. So once again, improving his average even higher, increasing on that Rookie of the Year campaign, if I would say so. 264 in the year. Cortez also ends up stealing his 9th bag, which I don't know how he keeps stealing bases with 20 speed, but I'll take it. And Johan Oviedo, 7 2/3, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. My boy is back to pitching greatly. Next day out with another critical situation. Jose Leclerc back on the mound here. Bottom of the 9th again. Still a 1-run game. Except this time it's 4-3. Facing looks like could be the same exact people as Juan Soto takes the first pitch he sees. Grounds it over to Rob Key, who must be filling in for Brian Hayes over at third base today. As he makes the play over to first, and we're facing Luis Roberts Jr. again. This time 1 for 2. Able to get a hit in today's game. Swings through the play down there. It is a 2-2 evened up count now. He gets one right off the pitcher. Key's going to have to come in for this one, but that's a lot of speed going down the first base bag as he will get in there with ease. As now he does have to face Eloy Jimenez. But if we get a double play ball, we can end this game exactly where the last one ended off too as well. So we'll kind of see what Lucas Sims is going to do. And I know you guys noticed that Lucas Sims is in after that play. I guess I forgot to kind of include it here. Jose Leclerc, after taking that shot off the leg, actually ends up getting hurt off of that. So we were kind of forced to put Lucas Sims into the game. So now Lucas Sims is going to try to come in and close this out. Tying run is over at first base. And a little blooper here goes out to left field as Reynolds is not going to be able to get there in time. Once again, maybe his defense kind of hurting us there with the reaction time not being fast enough to get there. Andrew Vaughn will be up next. And we know all about Vaughn. If you guys don't, go back and check out that Tigers rebuild. Our first base defensive liability, but the offense was definitely more than enough to make up for it in that series. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But he has no O in this game as we get the 1, the 2 double play that we need there. 3-6-1. And that is another victory here for the Pirates as they are on fire. That's back-to-back wins for them against the White Sox. I mean, the White Sox are no slouch, of course, but every time we win, we just got to hope that the Reds, Brewers, and Cardinals lose. As Mitch Keller gets the win today, getting his 10th on the season. Welcome to the double-digit club. Sims gets his 4th save here. As only 7 hits as they team today, including theirs 7-2 as well. Cox went 2 1/3, gave up 3 earned runs there late for us to go ahead and come back in this game. As we had 7 hits here, 2 of them by Anthony Santander. Rob Key gets his 5th homer of the season, gets up to 25 ribbies. Pete Alonso's up to 76. Cortez somehow steals another bag. And then Mitch Keller, 7 innings, 2 earned, 3 Ks. A pretty productive start. As we jump into the last game, we're on a 3-game winning streak here. Losing this one kind of big, though, as it's 9-6. And we end up somehow coming back in that game 12-9. So I simulated thinking it would just be for sure an L for us. But we dropped 6 runs in the 9th inning to go to make the comeback. 17 hits as a total. 3 hits by Brian Hayes, Anthony Santander. 2 for Brian Reynolds, Julian Cortez, O'Neal Cruz. 4 ribbies for Brian Hayes at the leadoff spot today. Really showing that he needs to be back in this lineup, I guess, that the bat is back alive. So I'll take it any chance we get. He got a double or a triple in today's game. Probably was just a homer shy of the cycle. Pete Alonso, Anthony Santander, and David Schneider all hitting home runs today. And Paul Sneese, another one of his inconsistent bad starts, only 3 2/3 innings, 7 earned, but the bullpen held the door. And this one, honestly, I can't even say shout out to the bullpen. This is just the offense. Shout out to the O for scoring 6 runs there late. We end up beating Washington the next day out 4-1 to continue the winning streak going for a 5-game winning streak here. 9 hits as a squad. Hayes and Reynolds this time hitting the home runs. And Jackson Wolf, great start, 7 innings, 1 earned, 5 Ks. Great work by the bullpen and Leclerc getting the dub or the save. And one thing I did want to check out after that game too here was Aiden Tatsuki. He's now had 2 starts down here at the AAA level. The first game was a win there where he went 8 innings. A pretty good ball here in the second game. He did catch the L here, but still 6 innings, only 2 earned, 3 Ks, so another quality start. So far, 1-1, a 1.28 ERA, and has only given up 2 earned runs in 14 innings of work. So can't wait to see how he finishes out AAA kind of there. As we jump up to the Major League squad, we not only sweep the White Sox, but sweep the Nationals as well. To go into this game here against the Reds, only a half game back. Tied with the Brewers. So from 4th to 2nd. And we have a 3-game set against the team that is number 1. And so, we're going to highlight game number 1 here. It's Zach Gallen on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. 14-8 record. ERA is kind of high, but the whip is low. Strikeout total looks pretty decent for 159 innings of work. And we're going to have to go against them here today to try to get a dub. We want to get another series sweep if possible. Keep this winning streak going. We're at 7 now. So, if we can get a 10-game winning streak going and really kind of put some distance between us and the rest of the division, that would be great here. As to go from 4th to, second, that wasn't just us, winning. That was everybody else losing right alongside us winning. So leading off for us today, Brian Reynolds. We finally let that 323 average lead off for us, even though he's doing so good at the 2-spot roll. Got good wood on that one. Just got underneath it a little bit too much and letting Pete Alonso now hit at the 2-spot. See if this helps elevate his average a little bit. But here so far, he swings through that first pitch there. Swings through the second circle change, and he's quickly down 0-2 to Gallen. Over the top of the circle change. He's going to have to go sit down, and then I'll bring up Anthony Santander. As he is still in his 3 spot. Had a great season so far with us. Said leading the team in home runs, or at least up there. I think he's now second, actually. Maybe behind Cortez or tied for first. As they're there, and then the RBI totals are good too. He's got a full count here at 3-2 at Santander. We'll just watch that 4-seamer in on the ankles. So already getting a walk here earlier, leading things to the potential rookie of the year, Julian Cortez. Been really proud of the bat that he's been able to produce here. Been a solid DH for us. Not so many times you're able to just draft that MLB ready DH. Fresh out of the draft, as he gets a base hit out of the right field here. That'll give us an early chance to maybe get a run as that throw is well offline at third. Runners at the corners now, thanks to Julian Cortez. And Zach Gallen's going to have to pitch his way out of a dangerous situation here early. As O'Neal Cruz moving up in the lineup to the 5 spot with Pete Alonso jumping up to 2. We'll have to see if that helps get his RBI numbers inflated a little bit, as he's got an early runners in scoring position chance here. And that's going to be a base hit that gets past the diving first baseman. 1 run will score. Cortez goes into second base. And it is now 1-0 Pirates here in the first inning. Can Key keep things going here, as you've seen him get a couple RBIs and home runs here later in the season? Although the average has slipped out of the 300 range, he's still producing well enough to be in my lineup. As he's got an 0-2 count here early, as he watches that one go upstairs for strike number 3. He needs to go to Mitch Keller here. He's had a very good season too, kind of similar. Great win-loss percentage record there. Good whip. Just the ERA just a little bit inflated. So we'll have to see what kind of game then we're in for then. Will this be a high-scoring pitchers battle between the two? Only time will tell. As Tim Anderson will be their leadoff guy here, batting .262 on the season. The young, or 245. I don't know where I saw 262 at, but I do see that 245 dropping lower after the drop third strike will get him down at first base. 1 away. And I got to say, Mitch Keller, even though he's not our ace any longer after the addition of Nestor Cortez Jr., he's definitely adapted to that number 2 role, and it's kind of been like 2 aces. But I do got to say, he's definitely not pitching as good as he was last year, with that ERA being up closer to 4. As this ball is going deep out to left field, Reynolds is going to have to go back. He leaps at the wall. He won't be able to pick that one up. I'll have to just play this one off the bounce. So no grab at the wall that time, but does keep it in the yard at least. And that'll give us a chance here to keep this ball game tied. Ryan Noda, batting .301 in the cleanup role, is actually very, very good for them. Doesn't look like he has a whole lot of power, though, so maybe don't have to worry about too much there. Drake Fraley is in the on-deck circle waiting behind him. So we'll have to throw some of these pitches over the zone as he's in a 3-0, now 3-1 count. Watching all the way, so 5 straight looks. Swings over the top of the slider in the dirt. Davis is going to have to make the play, though, to make sure we get out of here. And just like that, 5 straight looks just to swing and miss at the dirt is crazy. Let's go ahead and take things here to the second inning. It's Brian Hayes now up to bat. Kind of let him slip in and out of the lineup, hitting near lower. He was our former number 2, number 1 type of guy, but the way the season's been going, he has not been able to keep that up here. And Pete Crow, probably the biggest disappointment this season, is getting a base hit into the outfield. With his speed, it's going to easily be extra base hits. He's going to go ahead and get into second base. 19th double on the season. Like I just said, though, still one of the biggest disappointments of the season. He takes off for third base easily, as he has not been able to be our leadoff guy like I wanted him to. Our average has been well under 200 basically almost the whole year. Definitely been under 250 the whole season. And Cam's been at 190, 180. So has not been playing as well as I would like him to. But here he does manufacture a run thanks to the extra base hit and stolen base. Henry Davis is able to just go ahead and get that ground ball to second, bring him on around, and give us a 2-0 lead here to kind of work with. And then Reynolds will pop this one out to left center field. That was dangerous. I would say that one carried way more than I thought it was going to. We find out that the ball carries here in Cincinnati too. Ball went all the way out to the warning track in the wall before I even knew it. So now we've given Mitch Keller a 2-0 lead to work with, and that quickly evaporates right back to a one-run ball game, as that ball is just never gonna come back in the yard. Where'd it go? Solo home run, Jake Fraley, his 16th of the season. If you guys remember, we did a Red Series too, and I don't think Jake Fraley ever made it to the majors. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like it's crazy seeing him actually come up here and especially take us deep on that one. Pause, but yeah, I don't even know if that man ever made it to our major league squad. But since he's developed nicely here in this series, at least to go ahead and make this a 2-1 ball game and lead things off to Garrett Mitchell, who's also hitting over 300. Must be nice to have two guys doing that, but might not be two guys for much longer. Hayes gets in there and makes the play with ease, getting the first outs here of the second. That's a base hit up the middle too as well. Now, theoretically, this team has looked pretty good, but I've noticed something that I might be doing here. I think I'm trusting kind of our team a little too much here. I do look around at other, how other teams are building their rosters and stuff like that, and what other guys do kind of have on stock. And one thing that I noticed that we don't have was something to prepare us for a situation like this where our ace gets hurt. And now I'm kind of left with four guys that we kind of shrug our shoulders at. Even Mitch Keller, yes, in his old age, is not someone we shrug our shoulders at because we don't have anybody in our rotation above, not including Nestor Cortez, but above an 85. Nobody. And maybe that's where the inconsistencies come from, is the fact that nobody's kind of reached their high level potential. I mean, we have two A potential pitchers in the rotation, but both are low level 80s right now. So I'm still kind of waiting for them to reach their peak. Outside of that, I mean, we have Jackson Wolf, who's a C potential. Yohan Oviedo, I think, is now B or A potential, but still waiting for him to reach his top potential. Mitch Keller's on the downcline of his career, being a little bit older as that fly ball is going deep to right field, way back, and it'll just barely miss a home run for Jake Fraley, which would have been his second of the game had it gone, but instead he'll chop this over to Alonzo Cruz, back over to first base, as that one will throw him off the bag. So I'm not exactly sure how you scored that one. I think it's probably a 3-6. It's not a 3-6 E6, is it? I wouldn't think so. It's probably just a fielder's choice, honestly. This ball will go deep out into the wall. That's going to hit up against it. And just like them, when you miss out on your home runs, you get double play balls. When you miss out on double play balls, you get doubles. We'll come back to talking about our rotation and what I see for it in the future here in a second, as we have a critical situation here. Yamir Candelario, something like that, as he grounds us over to Cruz, and we get him out, but not before they score the run. So runner will still be at third base. We do allow the time run to come across, and we get Matt McClain here to go ahead and check his swing, but they're going to call it for strike three, ending the fourth inning, taking us to the sixth here as Mitch Keller is still in the ball game. Score still tied 2-2. But yeah, like I was saying, we definitely got to work on getting, I think in this offseason, I think I want to go get us a high-level pitcher. High level pitchers. How do you pump fake and still throw the ball away? But even if it costs us something like a draft pick, I think we've really stacked up those here recently with a lot of the picks that we have made. I think we've really built up our farm system so where we can probably be okay with giving up one draft pick. I'm not even going to be mad at it. I think we're at this point in the series too where we're kind of done, not really done looking here. This is going to be an easy double into the wall to give the Reds the lead. Let's not let that distract from Garrett's greatness here. Mitch Keller started to get a little tired. Might be time to remove him soon here. Through only 5 1/3, 83 pitches through. As that's going to be on the ground to Hayes. Good grab, snag, throw over to first. And we got him. But yeah, I think we're at the point of the series where we can stop focusing so much on our drafts and our prospects and really kind of focus on getting the last couple of free agent spots. As this ball's going to get down the outfield, that's going to be an easy place. We're going to throw this one into second base, and he gets in there in time. I don't know why everybody's so inaccurate today, but another RBI double for the Reds leads to a pitch change here for the Pirates. Just when we started to get a half game back of them, this is not what we need. So we're going to bring Lucas Sims in, who's been one of our best bullpen arms. I think he's a former Reds pitcher for sure, because we had him with our Red series. Going to try to come in and look to shut down the Reds this time, as that's going to be a ball that gets into the gap for the base hits. We'll come back to the talk here in a second. We have another dangerous situation here. Runners at the corners for Tim Anderson, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Can he look to get that first hit and be a hero here? 0-2. Not chasing the slider outside, being patient. Let's go ahead and go back to it and see if that patience is there. And it gets the swing and miss that we need. Still, they do get the runs that they need to go ahead and get the lead up higher. It is 4-2, and Zach Gallen is still in the game with low energy and stamina here. And 78 pitches through, so we'll see if we can finally crack him here in the end of the innings. Pause. But I think it's time to start focusing on going to free agency and getting the last couple of signings that we need here, filling the last couple of holes, and kind of getting the prospects that are ready to come up. That means Herbert Beal, maybe even Aiden Tatsuki, going to sign a big name starting pitcher. I think maybe sign somebody at third base would be, I think, ideal for us too as well, signing a third baseman. Maybe even letting Patrick Robert go ahead and come up and play in the infield here and have like a real battle, because the infield is tight right now. I mean, a lot of guys are playing good. Tamar Johnson, I want to believe he's still okay. This is a sophomore slump. But we do have Rob Key. Brian Hayes obviously going to keep fighting for a spot. O'Neal Cruz. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. It's one of our players with like a very unique name here. They got the one we have playing second base. That's an RBI automatic double for Henry Davis. Could have been an RBI easily if it had not bounced over, but they're going to bring in Emilio Pagan. 61 games this year. He's had a 5 ERA though, so hopefully we can tax him here if not possible. But yeah, we have a lot of guys on our bench and in the lineup that are in the infield, so the depth there is kind of closed off. Now, outfield, I would love to say the same thing, but Drew Jones is yet to develop at AAA. I mean, Pete Crow looks like he needs to go down to AAA to develop some more. And really, the only people that I'm like kind of sure about out there is Anthony Santander because of the great bat he provides, Brian Reynolds because of the great bat he provides, but his fielding is so suspect. And I'm honestly more sure about Herbert Beal than any other ones. So, I mean, a new outfielder might also be in the cards here, signing a center fielder possibly. You know, Brian Reynolds, I mean, he's had a great year this year, but who knows how long that'll hold up, because he is, I think, 31 or 32 this season. So this might just be like a career year, and he fall off easily next season. We saw Brian Hayes put in 2 career years, and this year he's falling off. So, you know, signing those last couple pieces, I think will be crucial this free agency period to really set us up for an actual serious run next year where I'm actually feeling it. I'm feeling a World Series trip, and I'm feeling like we should be good this year. I feel like we should be good in winning games enough to be at a wild card spot. But every time I see us at the top of the division, of course, the competitive me wants to stay up there, but it is super shell shock to me to see us being that good. So enough talk about what the future looks like. We're nowhere close to the offseason. We got plenty of episodes coming before that, and hopefully a playoff run before we get to that point. But let's jump back into this game. We are down 4-2 here in the top of the 9th inning. And it'll be our 5, 6, and 7 here against Alexis Diaz, as that ball is going to be off the catcher's mitt. Cruz swung and missed, so he's going to have the chance to run on the first base, and he gets there with plenty of ease, as that went all the way to the backstop. And maybe a lucky break here is Rob Key taking this one deep to left field, as that will be foul. Just a little bit early on that 4-seamer in on the hands. Swings underneath the 2-seamer, and Alexis Diaz is kind of hard to hit because he throws such gas. That time we were able to check on the slider, though, down low. Maybe set up a walk here to put runners at first and second for Hayes, and he gets froze by the 4-seamer. He'll go unthaw in the dugout after watching that go by. And then Hayes up next. He just pops the first pitch he sees right to short. And just that quick, runner at first, 2 outs. The game is left up to Pete Crow, who's having a good game. He's 2 for 3 here today. One more hit would be great, especially with helping that average go up a little bit higher here. 2-1 is washed inside on the hands. He could easily walk and just give things up to Henry Davis here with that 3-1. He's going to let that go upstairs, and we get the call. So, I mean, there's plenty of speed on the base pass, too. This could easily, a ball in the gap could tie this game up. Four-seamer down at the ankles as he gets good wood on it, but it will be Squadda to center field, and that'll be your ball game. Victory for the Cincinnati Reds. They increased their lead back to a game and a half, at least over us. Depends on what happened with the Brewers, though, whether that lead increased or not. If they didn't play, then at the worst, they'd be a game back, so that moves us down to third. If the Brewers lost, they'd be at the same spot, so we'd still be in second. If the Brewers won, they're in second, we're in third. So there's some standing implications on what the Brewers did, but 6 hits as a team, we got to do better. Thank you, Pete, for at least getting 2. It's still only hitting 201 of the year. Average start for that Mitch Keller there, but I think Lucas Sims actually caused one of those runs to come in. I think he left with 3, and then Sims got the other one. But we will be focusing on this series, so we're not done here yet. As here today, still only back by a game and a half against the Reds, and this time it'll be flame-throwing Hunter Green. If I didn't believe in not recycling players for series, I would have made some type of trade work to get this man on my team. Probably one of my favorite pitchers to pitch with as far as starters go in MLB The Show. Probably one of my favorite pitchers that I would love to see just reach his max potential. Was one of my favorite pitchers in the Red Series. Easily and quickly took over our ace role over there and was phenomenal for us. But here today, I'm hoping for his downfall as we get a walk to start off the first inning. Which will bring up Pete Alonso to go ahead and hit with a runner on first base. He's taking the 1-1 pitch deep out the center field, and this one will be gloved in by the center fielder. Easy throw coming on in. We're trying to look to get some early offense because Green is not easy to score against, especially when he's hitting that 99 on the corner like that. Now, that call was a little questionable. Might be a little home call cook there, you know what I'm saying? But now he's got to face off against that rookie of the year, Julian Cortez, continuing to be clutch for us. This is going to get down in the right center field gap. Cut off before he gets to the wall, though. So just a single, moving the runner over to first base. But it sets things up for O'Neal Cruz to have another opportunity to be clutch here. This time the bottom of the zone looks like it's at least a little bit light and healthy there. Not calling the one downstairs. But does get one upstairs, and he takes this one to left, and it's gloved in. So a little bit of a run scoring opportunity there, showing that we can at least get to him. Hopefully that rattles him a little bit, but now we need Paul Skeens to come in here and have a good start. You can tell by the ERA, you can tell by the whip, and his strikeout percentage. This man is very up and down when he comes into pitch. So let's see, which Paul are we getting today? Looks like we might be getting pitched to contact Paul as we get a pop-up over the shortstop. O'Neal Cruz makes the easy play. It's Suzuki. He'll come up with a 1-2 count right after, and he swings and misses through the four-seamer in on the hands, leaving things up to Spencer Steer to get some early O started out for the Reds. As he pops this one right center field, and you know Pete's got that speed, so he's actually just jogging right over into place. And I'll go ahead and take care of that one. So as you can see, we got the CPU versus CPU gameplay here today, just to try to check things out here. These gameplays are so easy and so fun to do too, because I can just have these playing in the background while I'm doing something else, editing a video, working, and all that stuff. And I can just sit back and watch the game, almost like I'm watching an actual MLB game. As we got to throw down the second base, is not going to be in time. Cruz, it's off. As we do have a possible run scoring opportunity here, as well as Rob Key checked this swing and got hit on the hand, so that's going to be a hit by pitch. Now we got runners at first and second, 2 outs for Brian Hayes. 1-2 count here as he lost this one in the right center field. Center fielder stops as the right fielder will come in and get it on the run. That'll end the fourth. Still no offense. We go to the top of the sixth now. Game is still 0-0. Paul pitching good, but Hunter keeps getting into these dangerous situations. Another 2 outs. Late little rally here. So we're going to just go out and immediately get off with a double by Julian Cortez instead of a single and steal, which leads us to an intentional walk this time of O'Neal Cruz, who's already 1 for 2 on the day. And they'd rather face the other rookie, Rob Key. Make him do something. Last time he was not able to be clutch in this situation, getting the same exact opportunity with a much more tired Hunter Green, and gets confused on the four-seamer on the hands, is able to fight this one in the center field. It will not duck down though in front of him, and that's out number 3. So through 7 innings of work here, nobody's giving up anything, as Paul is getting late into his start too as well. Seeing our first little bit of trouble here. So he's been pretty lights out here the entire time, keeping them off base, keeping them out of scoring position. But here this time, Cruz dives for it. He will not be able to make the play on anybody. And now they do have a runner in scoring position here for the first time today. Runner at seconds and first. No outs for Jake Fraley. You know he's been able to go deep against us before. This time it's just going to be a slow roller right over to second. Easy play gets rolled across. 4-6-3 double play. And just like that, any out will do here against Ryan Noda with the 1-1 count. As he just chops us on the ground right back over to second base. Key making the play over to first. And we take things to the 8th inning as they have switched out and put in Ian Gibbott. I hope I'm saying that right. As he gets a bad break there by the defense. Santander getting lucky. Slow roller to the right side, and it just kind of hit off the glove and stood there. Now we're going to bring in Lee Oliver Peguero. That's the name I was trying to remember in the last video, because remember, I was trying to remember that name. I could not remember his name for the life of me. It is a hard one to say, don't get me wrong, but a lot of speed over there now is making them throw the ball away. He tried to go check him to make sure you would stay at first base, and we actually end up getting them to throw the ball to the backstop and taking full care of this one, as they are not able to go ahead and make a play on it. It is an E1 there by the pitcher, as Julian Cortez here will watch the screw curve down low and get called for strike number 3. Another opportunity to score here for Rob Key if he can make it work. Runners at first and second, as this is going to be a fly ball to left field. It'll get down right across the wall. Left fielder's going to have to come in and throw this to the cutoff man. The throw's coming to the plate. We're bringing Cruz home. Not in time as he got him out. We at least get the 1 run across, but Cruz trying to get a little bit too greedy, which I get it. It's late in the game. Why not attempt for it? But also could have had runners at second and third and kept the rally going. Instead, we'll hand things back over to Paul, who's still pitching a shutout with a low pitch count with a score of 1-0. Tyler Stevenson will come up after the ground out, strikeout, combo, and he'll line this one into the outfield for a base hit. Turning things over to the top of the order yet again today. 4th trip through the order here for Paul. So we're going to let him go ahead and kind of finish this one out if possible. And now they don't want to give the calls down low. You know, that's a clear strike. You know how when you miss the strike call, you normally get a base hit. But not this time. Easy play there by Pete to go ahead and get that one back over to first base. And we take things here to the bottom of the 9th as we get the fly ball out into center field for a base hit. As Paul is still in the game too, trying to go for a complete game shutout if possible. But with that base hit, they actually go ahead and go to the bullpen and bring in Jose Leclerc, our closer, 32 of 39 on the year. Looking to see if he can reclaim that reliever of the year award possibly. As you guys can see, that will be up there at the top of the screen for the rest of this. Like I said, you get to just leave the game plan while you do other stuff. And sometimes it just hopefully doesn't enter rest mode before we end this game. Let's get this in before extra innings. It means that we got a 6-minute limit to go and get these outs. That's going to be a line drive double play. Rarity that you see a man do it all by himself, but L3DP. Feel like I got to say pause on that as we go ahead and get the double play to go ahead and end this ball game with a little pop out by Ayla De La Cruz. And we win this ball game 1-0. Pitchers throughout the whole thing. Not much offense at all. Plenty of scoring opportunities, at least for the Pirates. As we saw 2 back-to-back times that Rob Key had a chance to do something with runners at first and second. He blew it. But we were able to come in clutch when we needed it the most there. So shout out to the offense. Shout out to my boys getting the job done. Rob Key actually did, like I said, he had chances to come up clutch before this, but did end up getting the RBI anyway, just with plenty of chances. I mean, he had 3 straight chances in first and second, 2 outs. One of them had to work. We'll go ahead and jump into the following game here. Game number 3 is Brian Reynolds, batting .320 on the season, having well over 20 home runs, 70 RBIs, and is now finally in our leadoff spot. I wanted to go ahead and lock in on him today as we play through game 3 against Nick Lodato. Trying to go ahead and get us the series victory here today if we can, and that's going to be a base hit getting into the outfield that'll get down. Easy leadoff base hit to go ahead and get the rest of our power bats up and active now. Pete, Santander, Cortez, and hopefully Cruz will all be coming up now as we get a little chopping broken bat as the throw will be flipped over to first base for the first outs. But Pete does move the runner up, and then it's up to Anthony to go ahead and keep this moving. That's on the ground over to third. We try to take off on it, but it will not work out for us as he gets tagged. I keep wanting to take that extra bag because you used to be able to so easily. But here, by the time it comes up for Brian Reynolds next at bat, we are down 5-1 here early. As I think this is a Jackson Wolf start after Paul's. So yeah, it should be Jackson Wolf next in rotation. So obviously not having too good of a start here as we are down 5-1. We got another base hit from Reynolds, and then Santander rounder over to first base. We're going to go ahead and try to keep it going in case something messed up, but it will not work out. as Reynolds is on a 2-for-3 day. We're still down 5-1 here in the 7th, but a clutch situation here with 2 outs. Runners are at the corners. Can we make this a 3-hit day as we foul off the 4-seamer? Good timing on it. Just a little bit back. So we have a full count now for him. That's going to be a line drive out to right field. He's going to just range in closely for it, though, and pull that in. And that'll basically kind of do it there, man. We were not able to do anything. As the score actually got worse after that. They ended up getting 3 more in the bottom half. We only got 1 more back. So it was 8-2 L here is Jackson Wolf. Terrible start. 4 earned and 4 2/3. Jordan Hicks, 3 earned runs in his relief work. Just not much that we could do either on pitching and an offensive standpoint. So after that second series with the Reds, we end up 2 games behind the Brewers, a game and a half behind Cincinnati, as they are now a game and a half or a half game behind the Brewers, who have on an emergent surge. We're both 8-2 in our last 10. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now. And unfortunately, we don't have any more games against the Brewers. The only other games that we have here would be the second set here against the Reds and then the Cardinals, which is going to come up soon as we go ahead and simulate our way through the rest of the month of August here. Losing the first 2 against the Mets, coming into game 3 here with Mitch Keller with a chance to get a complete game shutout. And we do go ahead and do just that, 3-0 victory. So we lose the first 2, 7-9 and 0-5, getting shut out ourselves. But are able to bounce back in the final game, and it sets us up to come back home this time against play Cincinnati, as we're down behind them by 2.5 games. You see they're 74-62, we're 71-66, and that'll be what the next episode is focused on. I know back-to-back series against the Reds that we're focusing on, kind of, a little weird, but it also is September call time, so we'll have that too as well to focus on. But this is where the playoff push is going to get even more intense. The series is going to drastically slow down from what you guys have seen before. We know we've been able to go through August and September like a video, if not 2. But here, we're going to take our time through September, because we still will care about our minor league playoffs, because, our AA team has been raking in them championships. AAA's been slacking. But now we have a chance to make a push for our own postseason runs here. 5 games above 500. Let's see what we're able to finish the year with. Leave your comment and predictions down below. What will the final record be? Obviously, we can't get to 100 wins. We're already over that marker. But can we at least see 90? Or will we be stuck at 80? Or will we really fall off and only be at 70? Catch you guys in the next video. It's me, your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka SmooveGotGame. And if you guys are ready for the end of the year and hopefully some postseason baseball, I'll catch you guys there. I'm gone for the day. Later.